There we go. Okay, if I could just fix my camera. I am live. I know I'm running like half a minute late here, so let's fix that. Let's get this camera like positioned properly there. Hello everybody, welcome. Let me go ahead and find, I just totally caught up on like some X posts and stuff. I totally am I got so caught up on like, I do a lot of collectibles like cards. Like I really love cards, trading cards, like sports, football, basketball, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, any of that stuff. I'm totally into it, and I absolutely 100% get caught up in that stuff. Like anytime I'm like sitting there looking at my phone, I'll be at work even, and I'll be like looking at my phone, all of a sudden something will pop up and be like, hey, this card is so cool, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I gotta see this card. So here I go. I'm jumping on the card, and yeah, so anyway, we are live. We are back this week. We are in Westwood. This is episode 49. We're getting back into our city and dusting things off, as the title says. And I gotta fix my sound. Okay, there we go. I was bouncing sound off of my computer over here. My shitty laptop that is like seriously on the verge of death. I don't know how it hasn't died this long, or like after this long, because it's so old. You precious little thing. I'm gonna give you a little rub. My left hand is over here just giving it a little pet on the head. Like, you're such a good little computer. You're such a good computer. Anyway, as you can see, I've probably been having a good day. Having a really interesting morning. You know, it's Super Bowl Sunday. As you all hopefully know, if you're from the Europe areas, you probably might not give a shit. Hey, Chris, welcome. You might not care, but yeah, that's going on today in America. We got the Super Bowl. It's the Eagles versus the Chiefs. I'm not really giving two craps about it. I'm going to watch the game, obviously. Everybody watches the game here in the States, even if they say they don't watch football. It's all about the Super Bowl. We love it all here. But as you can see from my hat here, there's only one team I wanted to see at the frickin' Super Bowl, and I think they got robbed. So anyway, hey, Twisted Chaos, welcome. Man, it's been a while since I've seen your name. What's going on, man? Oh, shit, Takis. I think I need to go in here. I'm on Westwood 222. I started the stream in the friggin' test city as I was sitting there, like, testing things out and working on some stuff. Let me reload this here. Alive and kicking. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I hope everybody's alive and kicking out there, especially on a good day like today. It has been snowing in Oregon recently, which has been super cool. I haven't had snow here where I live in like probably a year or two. That's been awesome. So hopefully the weather has been to your liking where you guys live. Just working, gaming, living, bro. Right on. That is so cool. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, working, living, and gaming. I spent most of this weekend just kind of doing that, just living and gaming and thinking about work. Like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not at work because it's Saturday. So I'm going to run through here. I got a couple of things I want to just kind of get out of the way, knocking some of these. We got this whole area. We got to come back to here. This is something I was already playing around with, and I had some stuff going on over here, but we'll come back to that later. I just want to make sure, like, the little death symbols I'm not too upset about. Like, there are, what are they called? Not the cemeteries, but the, I'm going to have to go look at it. I can't think of the name right now. Healthcare. Crematoriums. There we go. I got crematoriums in a lot of these areas. Oh, there we go. We got to... Okay, hiccups now. We got to fix this area. So we're going to take care of a few of those things really, really fast. So, morgue, yeah. I was thinking of the place where they actually burn the bodies, though. Like, for people who want to be cremated, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. Cremated after they die. Like, I don't know about y'all, but that is one thing I'm not sure about when I die. If I get like if I died from a heart attack in my sleep, then obviously have a normal funeral for me. But if I like died in a mangled, fiery crash, then let's go for the frickin'. And my if my mom heard that, I'm totally sorry to her. I'm not trying to. Sorry, Mom. But if I, one death versus the other, that's going to determine how I prefer to have my body sent on to the afterlife. So, you won't notice anyway, right? As I wouldn't notice after that fact, like. So I hope you're all doing good today. I'm having a good day myself. You can obviously, hopefully tell that I'm having a good day. It's been a good day. I went to Costco yesterday, which is, if you're in Europe or anything like that, you wouldn't know what Costco is. It's this giant warehouse filled with like lots of food and crap. Lots of crap. I could buy a really cool light for my room that has like a fan in it and everything. And yeah, just crap. So anyway, I was there and I bought myself 2 freaking giant tri-tip pieces of meat, and they were only $50 for these 2 giant pieces of meat. Oh, I've heard about that, Chris. I've totally heard about that, and I thought, that's a cool idea. I want to be a tree when I die. That's awesome. That is totally cool. We also have the ability to totally nail a body with water pressure and just obliterate it into a sauce and send it off to the ocean too. I forget what that's called, but there is something just sold on eBay. Awesome. But when you die, you can totally have your body just turned into sauce from water jets and sent into the ocean. Like, we have that ability here in America too. So, where was I going with that conversation? I don't know. That conversation is weird. It's awful, and we probably should and talk about it. Somebody's out there like, oh my god, I just had my grandmother cremated, you asshole. I am an asshole. So let's get on to the next part of this thing today. I'm going to go ahead and take a few of these streets out of here because what's going on today? We are going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of that. That's going to stay. That can stay. That's nice right there. I noticed that over here, you see this bright red square. They're going to lose their business in a minute because they aren't getting enough customers. And I'm like, why aren't they getting enough customers? And I figured out, well, they don't have a proper bus route, or even at that point, you could think of like a trolley route going through there. 2 years since I've been in cities. Cities is a cool game, man. I've been in this game for so many years, and I don't think I could ever stop playing this game. And what pisses me off is I can't play Cities 2, but all the PC players can, and I don't have a PC that works good, so fuck you, laptop. Anyway, despite that, we're back here in Cities 1 because we can do some cool stuff with this. So anyway, I'm going to erase all these streets because I figured out that they're not getting all their customers over there because they just don't get a good enough traffic flow into this area. This is such a cool area if you check it out. He says, LOL. This is such a cool area here, and it's got all these businesses. There's nightclubs, there's hotels, there's all these cool things that run through here, and they just are. It surprises me they aren't getting enough business. We have, if you go up this direction, tons of housing up here. This is Beechwood Square, Walnut Park, all this. This is all housing, like right in here. A little bit of Elm Heights is housing. There's businesses and stuff. Walnut Park is all business. We got like the soccer stadium there and everything like that. Football for my European friends. There's plenty going on. There's this really busy Holly Street right there that could get people down there to that area on the coast there. So I need a sip off of that Sprite. That was just I was desperate for that sip. Then we also have Dexter Street here. Watch out for Dexter Street, because if you see plastic lining along that street, you probably want to stay away from that. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you've watched the show Dexter on HBO. But so, yeah. But so this is actually more of a highway, actually, kind of a highway slash main road through here. I wish I could mix them. That'd be cool as hell. But I mean, this brings a ton of traffic through here and stuff like that. But for some reason, it just does not bring anything down here to Smith Fishing District. And so this week, we're just going to kind of prep for next week. We're going to have too much. I love reading comments. It always gives me especially when I'm having a good day like this, I start reading into the comments and it distracts me from what they're doing. Tasty. It's been a really good morning, I'll tell you what. So, anyway, I realized I need to bring them some business. And over here, Hickory Heights, Laurel Heights, Belmont Hills, we have housing. Rosewood Heights is housing mostly. Laurel Heights is a lot of business traffic and stuff like that. As you can see right here in Laurel Heights, we've got our tower for, why can't I think of it right now? But, trading and everything like that. All these are businesses that are meant for trading and blah, 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 all that shit. So we're going to take this road right here where I have the blue line right down here. We'll shoot in Tony Peters Boulevard. And what I want to do is bring Tony Peters Boulevard. It goes this direction, and that's fine. We're going to leave that alone. The Mac Miller Byway and all that. The Mac Miller Byway is useful to us because what I want to do is I want to bring another highway, just a short highway, off of Tony Peters Boulevard. It's going to come up over Thompson Street right here. We're going to actually rebuild Thompson Street too. I'll get you in on that in a minute here. But we're going to move the main building for the oil industry over a little bit. We're going to get rid of these two storage facilities here. We don't need them anymore. In fact, I have... Whoa. I just want to look at them really quick. I believe... Yes, I set them on empty. That's why we were talking here. So they should empty out. I'm going to set this to high speed. Let me move my fat head out of the way so I can make sure I got high speed going on here. Okay. So that they can empty out as quickly as possible. And we're going to change the roads up just a slight bit. Hey, David, welcome. Oh, don't worry about being late, man. Don't worry about it. Did you scale the Keurig? She wanted me to start an hour before the stream. Hey, I understand that because I use a Keurig myself. I do use, I put my own, ground coffee in there. I don't get their little K-cups. But I do have a Keurig. I love it. It's one of my favorite coffee makers I've probably had throughout the years of my life. Other than the original OG, it turned yellow after a couple of years, Mr. Coffee. The Mr. Coffee with that thin glass Mr. Coffee thing. That was one of the best coffee makers back in the day. You could make good 12 cups of Folgers on that thing. That was really good. Everybody's doing good, I hope, David. I'm doing good, at least. I hope you're doing good. But yeah, you can make that 12 cups on the Mr. Coffee maker. That was one of my favorite ones. And the reason that's one of my favorite ones, and I'll spill the beans here, is because when I was younger, back when I was probably, I want to say 18 or 19 years old, I got into, taking random stuff and making water pipes out of them, or bongs, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Which is meant for smoking tobacco or green wacky tobacco out of, I used to make a lot of these things back in my day. I took a honey bear and I put a little piece out, a little bowl piece out of it, and I turned that into a water pipe one time. And so I thought to myself, why shouldn't I be able to take a Mr. Coffee pot and turn that into a water pipe? And I totally did. I used probably a whole 5 sticks of a glue gun, the little glue guns. I used 5 sticks of glue out of a glue gun. I did have some glass pieces in there. I went and bought a not rubber, but a plastic hose for a fish tank thing that came out, so you could use that for the mouthpiece. It was so awesome. That's why I've got a little bit of a love for Mr. Coffee there. So. But yeah, you can make that 12 cups of, on the Mr. Coffee maker. That was one of my favorite ones. And the reason that's one of my favorite ones is because when I was younger, back when I was 18 or 19 years old, I got into, Anyway, let's get back into what's going on here. So, today I wanted to kind of prepare. Now we're back in Westwood, as you can see. Let's back up here a little bit. Let's get into this scene here. Bam, there we go. Westwood has grown so friggin' much. This is one of the best cities I've built in a long ass time. Like, other than Fuchsia, which our goal is obviously 1 million citizens, Westwood has been one of my best and favorite cities to build. We have this mountain that we've been building around, and it actually has turned out really nice. We have this area that we're going to be working on in the future, doing a few things with. We have this area here that we're going to be working on in the future, doing a few things with, and then just pretty much everything else we've had a pretty good time with. Just taking our time building just building it, trying to stay as natural as possible. I mean, I don't know every city would build a speedway, but, we had to. We built this cool-ass speedway over here. This was awesome. That was a good time. And then this, I have to say, like, one of the best things about Westwood, when I came back and I was doing my whole, test build over the week here, I was so happy with what we did here over the last couple of weeks, a month ago from today. Getting all this built up in here, these little just rural areas, these just tree areas here, these for the logging and industry and stuff like that, setting up the way the roads are and everything like this turned out so nice to me, and I was so happy with it. Like, this has been one of my favorite cities, and that's why I don't want to stop right away. So in my test build this week, what I did was I came in here, I messed around, and I just decided that, like, with this side here, we were having the problems with not enough customers. I probably don't want to ignore that anymore. I want the city to grow. I want it to look good. So with that, what I decided to do, oh, look, we park leveled up. We have some new gazebos. That's awesome. What I decided to do was I want to take and connect this side of the city with this side of the city. And so this little area where I've been messing with stuff, I deleted roads here, I've been messing with these buildings here. I want to take just a piece of highway. It's going to be highway because that way they can travel a little faster through here. There's not going to be any off ramps, on ramps, or anything like that. They're not going to connect to any of these roads. It's just going to be basically a viaduct, V-A-I-D-U-C-T, viaduct. If you don't know what that is, it's just a stretch of like a highway, a freeway that goes from one area to another. It kind of goes over over the land so that you can still have stuff underneath it, like parks and buildings and other things like that. And that's our idea through here, is I'm going to build a little viaduct. And it sounds like a B, but it's spelt with a V. Like V as in victory, but you sound it out with like almost a B, like a B as in bee, as buzz type of sound. Like, you use that type of, like a viaduct. I don't know why, but that's just the way I've always heard it. Maybe I'm wrong, but hey, that's the way I've always heard it. So anyway, where in the heck? There it is. So we're going to build that across here. It's going to cross with that bridge. We're going to leave that bridge, but we're going to change the direction of that road right there. Bring it over to the right side of our little tram stop right there where it kind of circles around. You just saw the tram go through right there. We're going to bring it over to the right, have the road kind of connect through. It should turn out pretty good. The way I had it working in my test build turned out pretty good, nice, and I was happy with it. Like I said, we're going to be adding in a few other things. So one of the things we're going to be adding in, oh, by the way, this week we are taking a little bit of our, little bit of money. I got my tax refund, part of my tax refund back from federal. So we're taking a little bit of that and getting some Jameson this week. If you're all wondering what we got in the cup this week, a little bit of Jameson. But yeah, so we're going to take that, switch it around a little bit. I want to keep the area kind of as general as it is, just a few buildings and businesses back there. I like it the way that is. But like I said, I want to bring this viaduct in and everything like that. So, and still allow the traffic from Ankh Ore and the oil production over there and stuff like that to also travel back and forth on their own kind of thing there. So what that's also going to entail is this, which is having problems. As you can see, We're going to move that. And look, it's funny, as I move it to here, and I'm getting 24 tons per week, it's probably going to empty it out fast as heck, and we'll have to get rid of it in, like, by the next episode. But it still works, and it gets out of my way so I can take this bridge right here. Thank you, game. You can finally work. Thank you. And we're gonna go with our freeform tool. Oh wait, I need to fix. Let's go straight. I just want to go straight right. Oh, you know what? No. I remember what I did. I changed that. So I'm gonna go like this. Drop it down. I want to get my proper like length, obviously. There we go. I'm gonna get as much of a curve as I can get off of this bridge. I want to try to get to the right side of that tram station there. Never ruined a perfectly good coffee pot like this. So, when I was growing up, David, this is where I got that coffee pot, by the way. When I was growing up, I lived in a place called Lake Arrowhead, California. It was it was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous place to grow up. And there we go. And there was the public dump there. You know, you have the dump. You got to go up there to get rid of your garbage and stuff like that. And they had this really, really cool giant warehouse-sized building. I mean, this thing was enormous. I couldn't even begin to tell you how big it was. Like, I couldn't even think of anything to describe it to. It was just enormous. It was so damn big. Maybe it was bigger than I thought because I was a kid at the time, but it was huge. And it was called Another Man's Treasure. It was like the biggest thrift store you've ever been in your life. Like, massive, massive place. So massive, they had like 3 sections of this, and it was still just a giant warehouse steel building, like so huge. So, I was in there one day, walking around, and one of the things I absolutely loved about this place is I would go to this section where they had old records, they had old cassette tapes, they had old 8-track tapes, and if you know what I'm talking about, then you're as old as I am. And occasionally they would have CDs. And then they would have stereo systems and all that other stuff around the area, like that, speakers and things like that. And I would go back to this area all the time. Well, one time I went back there, and somebody must have brought it from another area over there. And there was a Mr. Coffee coffee pot sitting there. But it had this huge chunk of plastic missing off the side. Like, it couldn't... I'm looking at it like this isn't a functional coffee pot. And so... what ended up happening, what I ended up doing with that is I turned it into my water pipe, like I was talking about. And because I thought to myself, you know, I think I paid $1.50, $2 for it. I mean, it was still functional. Don't get me totally wrong here. Don't get me wrong. It was still functional. You could still make coffee on it. It was missing like the top for the water bin or something like that. It was just missing like a piece of it. And that's why it was like $2 at this place. And 8 tracks. And so, yeah, I grabbed it and I brought it home. And I'm like, I got this coffee pot. And I already had one at home. Like, so what was I going to use it with? And I just went with that. At the time, like I said, I was making all kinds of weird pipes and stuff like that. It was just my hobby, I guess. Alright, so while we're sitting here, I need to check these. 1% full. This is not going to get any less than 22 barrels for some reason. And this one got to 13 barrels. In my test build, I couldn't get this less than 65 barrels. So they're not going to get any less full for some reason. I can't get them to 0. And what we're going to do is just delete them out of here. Boom. And then we're going to go ahead and choose the main building here and move it. I want to move it right here. Bang. So that we can come over here to our roads, and we're going to go down, choose our 4-lane highway with sound barriers. I think it's just the best thing for this. We're coming into an area with businesses. I mean, you'd want as little traffic sound as possible, I guess. Shake! What's going on? Hell yeah. Oh, I love going through the comments when I can. Alright, so we're going to go with freeform. Shake, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to raise this up, get it as close in here as possible. Bang, 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 bang. And then we got to get this going. Go across. I'm trying to like stop at certain areas because those two roads underneath it that you see right now, those are going to get messed with a little bit. And I don't want, like if I go straight, it has this stupid like tower thing on it, and I don't like that. Right there. Don't like it. So I curve it a little bit because I don't want the tower, I just want the bridge. Let's find that right spot. Come on, come on. There we go. And then I'm going to drop this down. This might mess with me with all these little, like, line areas here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and turn them off. So far, so good, man. So far, so good. Alright, so I'm going to turn them off. I want to aim it towards below where that tram is right now. Something totally just sold on my eBay. Hell yeah, what sold? I just listed that. I can't believe it. It's been the craziest thing. Like, I've been selling sports cards for years on eBay, and I don't make a dime. I mean, I barely make anything off it. I've sold some really good cards. Like, I've sold some cards that are worth a few $100s and stuff like that. But until I started selling Pokemon cards on my eBay account, I really wasn't making any money. And all of a sudden I start posting eBay or Pokemon cards on eBay every week. All the time I'm selling Pokemon cards. So I have to keep them posted. Like, that's like the one thing I try to keep posted now. Wow, look at this. Already getting used. Holy crap. So, like, I'm so surprised. If you guys like to sell on eBay and you go to, like, yard sales and things like that. How tall is it? Oh, it turned into a suspension bridge. What the hell? I didn't want that. I don't think it's really the height. It's more about the length that they choose that for. And for some reason, I'm gonna leave it alone. Whatever. The other side's the suspension bridge. I guess that works. Fine. Anyway, back to what I was saying before. If you go to yard sales, you know, garage sales, things like that, I don't know what the equivalent would be in Europe if they do things like that, where somebody's selling something out of their yard because they want to get rid of it. Maybe y'all could tell me over there. But, yeah, find Pokemon cards. And I mean, not the basic ones. Don't find, you know, Alright. I'm grabbing cards that are the flashy ones. Hold on. There we go. You know, cards that aren't shiny and flashy, just normal, basic. I'm trying to show you a picture here in front of my face of normal, basic Pokemon cards. Those don't sell for shit, obviously. But art cards, the ones that are full arts, that are, and if I can get one in front of the camera here, like this. This is a Japanese Doug Trio. It's a full art card. You could barely see it in front of my face. I'm going to try and move my face back there. It's such a cool card. This is one of my favorite cards. This is actually part of my personal collection here. It's the Doug Trio with wigs. And like I said, this is the Japanese version. You can see the kanji on the top, and just barely. The American version, for some reason, is worth more than the Japanese version. I don't get that. Dude, I've been totally into it lately. I fell into it hook, line, and sinker. I don't know what happened. I am just stuck on collecting and playing Pokemon lately. And I didn't want to be one of those people who was like, because when I was younger, I obviously used to buy packs, and I would buy them, and I set them aside with all my baseball and football cards. And then these days, I kind of got back into it. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. These cards are worth money, and blah, blah, blah. I think mostly the height above the water level there, David, just so you know. I think it's kind of the height above the water level. I don't know if it has anything to do with below the water, because this is actually really low through here. If you remember any of the past episodes, like months and months ago, I like really reamed the soil through here. This is a super low area. So, but yeah, I mean, I've really gotten into that Pokemon stuff lately, and oh, I'm not going to repeat what I just saw on my watch. That was too funny, but very dirty. Personal messages from family members of memes. It shows up on my Apple Watch, and I'm oh, what am I doing? Okay, let's empty that out. There is a couple of deaths here, but I don't have to worry about them. This needs emptied, and that'll fix things. This should start fixing problems, but what I want to do is let's go ahead and set up a couple of public transit options. So first option, we're going to go with a bus, and I just want to create a new line. We'll start it right here in front of this hotel. And my thought is, I'm looking in here and I see a couple of like bare roads that don't have any bus lines going through them or anything like that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I did this on the test run. It seemed okay. I'm going to go like that, go like that. I'm just going to take this bus line through some of these like areas that don't have anything. Like that. Over here. We can combine this bus stop, that's fine. But then I want to bring it across the bridge here. I want to make this one route. And I'm going to bring it across to right here next to the station. This one gets really busy. Then from there, we're going to come across to Laurel Heights where there are, you know, stock exchanges and everything like that. We're going to add a stop here. This basically, my thought is, on like Fridays, if you get off of work from working at stock exchange, you're like, I'm going to a hotel, I'm going to gamble, I'm going to spend my weekend just having a great weekend because I'm a single person, and that's what I want to do. You're going to get on the bus, and you're going to go do that. So, we're going to go ahead, add a stop in here. One here. Shoot, I did that wrong. Back up, back up. I need one here, off the back of the stock exchange. Excuse me, sorry. It's going to go here. This is how I had it set up. Then here. Each side of the stock exchange. Then I want one coming off the front of this right here, this library, whatever it is, park. I forget what it is. But then coming back around. And I don't really want anything through here, so I'm just going to come back across the bridge and just connect this in, complete the line. So, what was on the watch, that is. I try to stay with the channel name as appropriately as possible every once in a while. I do try to make it a joke these days. It's just more of a joke these days because I try to stay professional and nice and friendly and everything like that. So I could be, I could cuss the whole time. I could make silly jokes that would get me quote unquote canceled and stuff like that. Like, if you've been on X lately and paid attention to Kanye West's account, like, holy crap. That guy is just trying to get himself canceled. Oh my God. I know the guy had a brain injury a long time ago, and that's probably what is leading to what he is posting about and such, but holy crap. Holy frickin' crap. I cannot say enough about what that guy has got going on through his brain. Like that, there is something going on there that I cannot explain. So I want to bring us just a quick line through here that just kind of connects a little bit of the Smith fishing districts with bam, right there with this stop right here, and then brings it up through here. No. Back it up. There we go. Add stop there. And then I want to connect to this green stop. Add one in here by this little area. And then we'll complete the line right there. So just kind of a little like figure 8 basically through Smith Fishing District and Smith Heights right there. So just tested it. If you raise the ground below the bridge, it won't spawn the suspension part. You can undo the terrain change after the bridge is in, just so you know for the future. Dude, awesome. I appreciate you doing that test. That is cool to know. Because, honestly, like I said, this, if you go to, let's go into it. Well, why don't we? Go under info views. And terrain heights. As you can see, that is, I guess it's a little higher than the rest of it, but it's still pretty low. As you can see, the, what is this? This is the wave energy thing that creates energy from the waves. That's what's going on right there. Then we've got our, it's just floating out here, our oil rig. So that is like as low as the middle of the ocean. When I was doing this, I just like chose a spot and like, bam, sucked it down. So I thought this spot right here was as low as that, and that's why it created that. But I mean, you know, maybe I need to just go like another section or two higher as far as the, you see the lines right there as far as that goes. So who knows? It is cool if they give you that. You can kind of go in here and like make your, you know, decisions based on that if you're into that type of thing. So I like how the river comes out. Like I should have made this river be a little more flowing into the main ocean instead of just a quick drop off, but at the same time that happens also. So all right, so we've got a bus line, we've got a tram line going through there, and I think the best thing now is to get back into what I was going to plan on doing, and that is our ferries. So I need to get a ferry depot in here so I can actually release any ferries out, and that I want to put over here. I think this is the best spot for it because it's just out of the way. The ferry depot isn't used as a stop or anything like that. It just releases ferries like the bus depots and stuff like that. So at this moment, I have to use the little boy's room. So what I'm going to do is put this into cinematic camera for y'all. Let you see the city. And I'm going to take off for like 30 seconds, wash my hands for another 30 seconds, and then I'll be right back. So give me a minute and a half. Hang on. There we go. Back at it. I like the cinematic cam, you know? It's a cool one. It gives you a lot of different views of your city. I've actually sat here one day and turned on the cinematic cam because I wanted to see if there was anything that it would show me that I could fix. I tend to have a small idea of where it's showing me in each part of the city. Like right now, with that walkway that it showed me down below where my head is right there, like I believe this is towards where the... Oh shit, we got a fire going on right there. I believe it's towards where one of my train stations is actually, so... Where that fire was happening, I actually know where that is. That is going to be right over... Where are we at? Okay, I got to figure out where we're at, and I can figure out where that fire is. And that is going to be... Oh, look, our park leveled up. Sweet! The train's coming in. It's going to be right here. There it is. Look at... There's the fire. Told you. I can usually, through the cinematic camera... I feel like watching a movie. So the cinematic camera kind of tell where things are. It's kind of cool. You can get a good idea of what's going on in your city, if you need to fix traffic, stuff like that. I mean, if you're the one building it, you have a good idea. Sometimes the people watching, I guess, on your end would know too. They'll be like, oh, wait, no, that's Meadow Heights. What are you doing? I remember you building that. So this little fire thing is like, fix it. There's so many fire trucks. Why don't you have... This little taco stand is on fire over here, but we got 6 fire trucks. 7... No, there's only 4. Wait. I sound like Biden right now. We got 5. 5 fire trucks. Do you have your monuments unlocked yet? I think I do, to be honest. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's right. This one we're trying to actually, like, work properly on with our money and stuff. So, we have stuff in here, but a lot of stuff is not unlocked. And then over here, obviously, nothing is unlocked through the monuments. So, we've got, like, our fusion, space elevator. These are things I do like to use. Ultimate recycling plant. Construction of the bird and bee haven. That's it? That's all I need to do for that? What? Really? Hold on a second here. I didn't realize the need was so little. Bird and bee haven. Like, what do we have a spot in our city that could keep the bird and bee haven happy? Happy. I mean, over here maybe. With the park, but see, it would be nice. I mean, yeah, we'll get on the monuments at some point. I gotta start unlocking things like this, like putting in the bird and bee haven and such like that. They will help the population grow. Go birds and bees. But I want to make sure I'm putting it in the right area. I don't want to just stick it there and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, how do I build around it? I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that hard to build around. If you want to see how my thought process goes on this, I'd do something like this. I'd put it here in the corner. Then, just in a test type of theory, grab my roads. I like the 4-lane roads. Since this road comes up off of here, I'd actually go like this off of this road here. But, oh, that pisses me off right there. Can't go off of that road. It is a walking road over there, so, like, but I can go sideways a little. I don't know. That's just the way I think. The way, like, stuff works out for me. I go like that. Then I go like that. Alright, so it's somewhat usable. Go like that. Come up here to this one. Then I would use something like, this is just like telling you what my thought process is for spots like this. Go like that. Then find, there we go, like that. Get rid of this. And nope, there we go. I just boom and a boom. And like that, you know, and then there you go. Like, so that's how I would kind of come up with the idea of what we're going to do, like, next week. I'd start with something like this. Okay, there's a few roads. They kind of suck right here. I don't like this, where there's, like, 3 intersections, like, boom, boom, boom. I don't really like that. So then I'd go through, I'd change something like this, and take that and do something more like this with it. Kind of come over here, out, that way, excuse me, that way it's a little more uniform, and it looks good in there, and they don't have 3 intersections, you only have 2 intersections that are semi-close, but since this would be kind of mostly a residential zone, I guess, seeing as how we have the park here, we got Belmont District on this side, and then we have tons and tons of, like, oh, I guess this is residential too. So we could do a little bit of business in here. This square, I think when I come back here, it is business. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. This whole square right here does tend to turn into business with my future builds. Then all of this and this starts to turn into, like, residential up through here, through the hill. So there's a little bit of residential through here. So, I mean, that's kind of how my thought process goes when I start doing stuff like that. So, just throwing that out there. Let's get back to what today is all about, though. I'm going to leave that for now since we did that. And I can always mess with that. Like I said, I can come back in my test build. I can adjust the roads. I can, you know, do a number of things through there and make it work out pretty good. I mean, even like that, one thing I like about that is not necessarily staying to the standard, let's find one real quick. The standard road build like this, where you got square roads, just line, and everything's in the square. You know, this gets so boring after a while. So stuff like this, actually, I enjoy building on, putting the housing, the buildings and stuff like that. Maybe bring the road to a 4-way and turn it into a 5-way. You know, those are options. And that's exactly what I'm trying to get at here. Is like, you know, as I come into this with my test build throughout the week, like I was doing over the week here as I was coming up with stuff for today, which I haven't even barely touched. As I come up with these things, this is how I do it. I throw it in there. I'm like, okay, maybe I want the bird and bee haven because I want to get to the next level of the monuments. And so you do that, you throw that in, and the next thing for the monuments pops up or whatever. But because I threw that in, I have to adjust around it and use that space. So here's how this business area gets taken care of. And I mean, in all honesty, if you think about where you live and you drive around in an area that was converted from maybe an industrial zone into a business zone, or a business zone into a, you know, commercials, you know, there's just so many conversions that they do around cities. Like, I have one area I drive through on the way home from work. On one side of the street, there's giant factories that work. You've probably heard of the company Harry and David. They sell, like, all kinds of stuff. Harry and David has a couple of factories along one side of the street. The other side of the street is all houses, like normal, livable houses. And then there's a factory across the street that sells nuts, or packages nuts to be sold. So, or you could delete it like you did. Agricultural, you know, and there's other options. You know, and that's, again, why I do my test builds throughout the week. I like to come up here and just take my time, think about what's going to go on. This week I've been having a little too much fun with the liquid courage there. But you know, I do that where I like, okay, could work, this could work. I mean, actually, you know, as I look at this, one thing I like about it is how the roads are almost level with each other. And then you have this spot here where it brings it up to the next level of road, and that would allow for a business to get built here, right? And look good. So, I mean, that's what helps me build. So we'll come back to this next week. We'll come back over here. This will be next week's project. I was working on this corner probably, and we'll see what we don't do with this. So I'm going to leave this alone as it is, and over the week I'll play with it, and we'll see what how I adjust it and come up with that over the week here. Agricultural isn't a bad idea, because let's see, let's look at nope, not there. Inspector, no, I need a city info, thank you. Nope. Info views, thank you, that's what I wanted. Natural resources, ooh, that's tough. That is tough. I mean, the bird and the bees is right in a spot that could be a farm. There could be more farm life there. The farm is all in Pilot's Place. Oh, that is a rough one. I mean, we could move the bird and bee farm like up here where the blue spot is, and then put a little farm right here that has like whatever. I mean, even just do the basic stuff. So yeah, I'll come back to that over the week. I'll play around with that, and we'll see what happens. So let's get back down here, because what I actually intended to do this week, before I got distracted with everything, is we're going to delete Thompson Street right here really quick. I don't have... Do you all hear me? There we go. I don't know if I touched something while I was talking or what, but for some reason I lost sound. And I thought for a moment, let's pause this. I thought for a moment that I had lost like power in my headphones. So, all right. Now that I figured out I have power back, I just had to turn the volume up. We're going to go up here to our shipping stuff, and I want to put the ferry depot on this side. Oh, this is one of my favorite songs off of the soundtracks for this. Actually, honestly, this is a really great beat. Let's go out of here, back up, go to radio. This is in Railhawk. City Neon Lights, Soft Moonlight. If I could download this onto my phone, I probably would. I'd listen to it on my way to work. So, alright, what I want to do here is we're going to add in some ferry services to help accommodate people getting from one area to the next, obviously. The main goal when I started building this is to bring people to the Smith Fishing District, but I needed to obviously put a ferry depot in. So what I want to do is put this over here in Encore Heights, because it just fits there. It's not going to be used for, I'm glad you all can hear me. It's not going to be used for actual stops or anything like that. It just needs to send the boats out. So this is a good spot for it. And actually, I want to move it over just a touch. Right here. Right there. Okay. Now we'll go to our ROADs. There we go. And these use basic roads through here. So we're just going to use basic roads. Where are the basic small industry roads? There we go. Oh, that is effed up. What the hell happened there? Oh, Cheez-Its and crackers. What the freaking hell is that? Confirmed demolition. Yes, yes, thank you. I didn't need it built on a mountain above everything else. Is that on a mountain? Sure looks like it. Kind of is. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Oh my god, what the hell? You gotta be kidding me. But come on, knock it off. Yeah, I know you need roads. Straight. What I should do is put the road in right here as tight as I can. And then there we go. That way we have the road still connected into this, which needs oil. Hang on. Okay, cool. It'll still move and stay in the same spot. Pretty much. So that should work. Because we used up all the oil in the center of that big circle. Okay. So, now that we've got the ferry site, let's go ahead and hit play again. So the roads are moving. That would be a cool ringtone, right? Alright, so now on this side, what I want to do is add in... I just thought it looked good over here. I don't know if it was worth it putting it in or not versus the smaller one, but... Ooh, the ferry pier. This one allows 2 ferries to jump in versus 1 on the other ferry stop. So I just decided to put that in because it looked cool. It looks nice. It's big. This big giant, ferry area. So then roads, back to the roads. Connect this up. Let's go with curved here. Turn all these snaps back on so it grabs what I want. There we go. Nice. Perfect. So we've got the new highway. New, 2-mile highway, whatever that is, coming in from that side of the city. And look it's actually really busy. A lot of people are coming across this versus King Bridge over here, which really didn't have a lot of traffic going through it in the first place. So a lot of people are coming this way. They're coming over to the fishing district. That's good. I'm happy with that. That actually works out really well. And I mean, they might be turning one way or the other versus that bus right there in the intersection. But again, one of my focuses with this was the public transportation, making sure that was available all over the place versus driving your car and having bad traffic everywhere. So there's that too. So one thing in my test build that I was a little reluctant about, but I wasn't, I kind of want to do now. As you see how Wilson Street here just dead ends onto that. I like it as far as things go, but I kind of wanted to put in a little bit more. There we go. I figured that in the future, we'll have a little more space for industrial use through here. We can try to keep it light, not do a whole ton of industrial through there. Oh, both bridges are getting plenty of traffic. You got your industrial traffic coming through here, obviously, with these trucks. But this one is getting the most used, obviously, as far as, let's go to our info views here. As far as travel with tourists and people like that. Routes. There we go. So, purple, private vehicles. Tons and tons of private vehicles. We have a few trucks. A lot of public transport going back and forth through there. So, I mean, yeah, that is pretty good. That is pretty good. This side, when we look at it, we've got a more pedestrian. Oh, there's a lot of pedestrians on that bridge, huh? That's crazy. I mean, I guess they're going to work. Yeah, okay, I see it. I see it. They're going to the spot right there for the people that live there for the work. Okay, and then, yeah, a lot of just trucks going through there. So I think that was probably the smart decision, changing this up, putting a lot more just focus on allowing people to come back and forth that are in private vehicles. Because as you can see, as it comes into this business area here, this is actually looking pretty good. And it's lightened up to we have 4 businesses having trouble with needing customers, which is a lot better than when we first started today. I think we had like 8 businesses or something like that over here. So looking good, looking good, looking good. All right. So now we've got our ferry station or ferry depot and our first ferry station. And what I want to do is basically, I know that ferries are meant to kind of transport people. Like, they can be used in a multitude of ways. They can be used for, showing things off. People like, oh, look at the whales and look at the businesses and look at the shoreline. Or they can be used for transporting people from one area to another. And that's what our focus is on this week, is transporting people from one area to another. So, well, I was thinking that was probably the problem going on here with Encore Heights, is that there was too much of the business traffic going through there, and it wasn't allowing enough of the people that we needed to get over here to Smith Fishing District for their shopping needs and stuff like that to get through. That's why I added in the bus, just connected it as a highway through there. It allows this areas to get over here and stuff, so it works out. I mean, we did have this road too, James Bridge, which, as you can see, is very highly used. But at the same time, like, look how busy that one is too. So it was needed. It was definitely needed. So, all right. Like I said, we're getting back into the ferries. I need to get a couple more ferry stops, just basic ferry stops. And one of the places I felt needed it was right here. This is a good spot. We only have to demolish like 2 buildings right here in order to place it. Let's hit pause real quick while I do this. And roads. We're just going to do our basic roads. The one thing I hate about like placing stuff like the ferry stop here is it's just a basic road on there. And I can't do like a 4-lane. That'd be great if I could just upgrade it to a 4-lane, but whatever. Straight. Okay, there in my test build, I was able to keep the buildings there. And that's what I'm trying to do. So what I'm going to do is move this just a little bit more to the right. See if that helps. Never be afraid to move buildings if you need to. There we go. See, by moving it, I'm able to fix that, allow that to go in there and not destroy the building that was there. This one, I think I need to start here. There we go. Shoot. There we go. I knew there was a way to do it to save it. That worked. Now what I can do to make sure those little blank areas get filled in, let's just do that. Hit the large paintbrush and just fill them in. There'll be a couple of high-rise buildings around that and stuff like that. So now we've got that stop here, which is, I think is so hilarious. It's like 1,000,000 feet off the water, but for some reason, people are going to get on and off the boat. No problem. They just float through the air. People in this just float. Alright, so we got that. Later on in the future, once we have Hardy Amusement Park kind of built up, and we can build this area up a little bit better, we'll put another one in here. Trust me, in the test build, there is one here, and it's a little different over here in the test build. So it will change in the future. We'll get one of those up here, and then basically the ferry will go from here to like here. And then this ferry will go from here to like another spot along here. I forget how I had it set up. I think I had something like right here or here. I forget. Like I did mess with one of the buildings. I think it was these buildings on this side. And I put the ferry stop here. And then I had that come from here over to here. So we'll do that in the future. But for now, what I want to do is go ahead and add in our pathways, because the pathways are definitely important. What? Oh my God. I don't remember having to lift that bridge in my test build for some reason. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but I don't remember doing it. I really think I got under this bridge somehow. I don't know. Without having to screw with it, somehow I got under that, and right now I can't. So I'll mess with that in a minute. The rest... Oh, I deleted that. That makes sense. Power lines are no longer necessary through here. That makes sense, but I don't know why I can't get under that bridge. Are you kidding me right now? What did I do wrong? Did I tickle you wrong? Did I tickle your Elmo wrong? I just don't know what to say. I swear. Oh my God, okay. I did something completely wrong here. I don't know what the hell happened, but I was able to get under each of these bridges in the test build. Oh, I feel like an ass right now. Oh, my Lord in heaven. Okay. This is working like it should. What is going on? For some reason, the game's like, you know what? Nah. Screw you, pal. We totally want to screw with you right now. Oh, Cheez-Its and crackers. What in the heck? Oh my God. I don't know if you've ever had anything work out for you when you're like, oh, I'm just going to do my test right now. I'm doing this test thing before I do the actual thing, and everything seems to be working out just flipping fine. But then for some reason, when I'm doing the actual thing, the thing that I need it to do, it's not working. I really just... Oh my God. Why aren't you working? I guess all I can do is laugh at this, but... Holy smokes. Maybe... Oh, you know what? I got hiccups now. I think that was part of it. Was I got rid of... Okay, something is not working out for me right now, and I've got the hiccups. It is making it even worse. Alright, I'm having an aneurysm right now. It feels like it, at least, because in my test build, I was able to make a riverboat go back and forth between this station and the other one. And for some reason, I've had like, what, 3 or 4 bridges now just completely block me from getting underneath them. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me? The only thing I can think of is that this river likes to overflood. We've seen this. And I've got the damn hiccups. Oh my God. I just feel like I'm being punched in the face by like some weird, like interdimensional like being that's like, I want to screw with your stream today. You got the hiccups and you can't do anything right. Oh my God. There's the hiccups. Hang on a second. It's probably not going to help. Nope, not at all. Alright, you know what? I hate to do it. We've gone over an hour today. Oh God, these damn hiccups. My controller got disconnected there for a second. Alright. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to call it a day. The hiccups are on me. The game isn't working like it did in my test build. And I need to figure this out. So please, join me next week. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me today. And oh my God, I just keep hiccuping. Thank you so much for joining me today. Stay tuned. I'll be back next Sunday with the rest of this build, and we're gonna finish this off and get on to the next part of our project here. And before I continue having the hiccups and destroying my speech pattern here, as I continue going on with that, thank you so much. I love you all. You've been great. Thank you for joining me. I need to go off. I'm gonna go drink like water and hold my breath for 30 minutes or something like that. Whatever it does to take care of the hiccups. Oh, cheese and crackers. Y'all, thank you so much. I love you all. You've been great. See you next week. Yeah, I'm even getting distracted by my hiccups. Have a good one.